Aloha everyone. It's 7:20 a.m. here on the Big Island of Hawaii. And I started a video yesterday and I got cut off. So today I wanted to get back into what I was discussing, and I wanted to offer third eye activation this morning. I wanted to talk about clearer vision, and I don't mean the vision in which we see with, I mean the vision in which we feel with, therefore we're able to see clearer. And so in order to be able to see clearer with our mind, it's about clearing out the spectrum of our thought processes that don't feel good, maybe any attached energy that we still have from other people, which means cutting energy cords, because our subconscious mind is programmed in so many different ways. And we don't realize how moving to the rhythm of that programming really dictates the rhythm in which we move to, the energy dance in which we entangle with other people. And so in life, what I see is that if I'm constantly being triggered, if energetically I'm not feeling very good often, I take a look at myself and I decide, what can I do to change that frequency? Because no one makes us feel anything we want. Now, that doesn't mean we don't feel things from other people, because we do feel things. People talk, they say things in their mind that we pick up in our bodies. So we do feel things, but no one makes us feel anything. No environment makes us feel anything, even though we feel that. It's a lot easier said than done, because sometimes we can really be in some situations that just don't feel good, and we can feel stuck and not sure how to get out. And that's okay to feel that way. That means it's time to switch that situation to look at how we can shift it, because it's all a thought process. And so when we clear out the vision of judgments, when we clear out the vision of, just things that don't concern us, other people's business and things like that, we really get dialed into who we are. And, we can really get distracted by our minds. We can use food and sex and drugs and alcohol and tobacco and, all kinds of different things that distract us from ourselves. I was fearful of my own mind most of my life, and I thought, why am I fearful of my own mind? Okay, we're back. I lost signal for a second. And so when I let go of the drugs and the alcohol and the codependency with other humans, I had no other choice to get within myself. And that cleared my vision so that I can see. Because while we do pick up on energy and things by seeing, we pick up on more stuff by feeling. That's why I always say, follow the feels, not necessarily the thought processes, because we can get entangled. Intuition comes in very clearly once we clear the space to listen. And for me, whenever things come into my mind and then my human me starts to ask questions of those things, then that means I've started then twisting my intuition. It's that initial first drop in, that initial first thought that comes in that lets us know. So for me, there's a lot of different things we can do to clear out our mind. And there's a lot of things that we can do to physically stimulate our brain to activate our third eye, to get it open. And so we're getting that yummy amounts of melatonin processing in our brains and in our body. And so one of the things I do is, like I say, just clearing out my mind space. And if something comes in that doesn't feel good, I hold on to it just for a little bit, and then I release it and let it go, just so I can take a look at it and not constantly just brushing off things I need to deal with. Because if we keep brushing off the things that we need to deal with, they're going to keep coming back. The subconscious mind is really amazing in that it makes sure that we deal with what we need to deal with. And if we don't, we're going to continue to see those things in the reflection of people around us, in the things, the material things that we have in our life, as well as our physical body, how well we feel, if we feel sick or our body hurts, there's all kinds of different things. And so one of the things I wanted to do today was do a third eye activation with you. Okay, so I guess we're ready to begin. If you want the activation, all you have to do in your own mind is say that you're open to receive, and then you shall receive the activation. While I'm channeling the activation, the chakra alignment, It helps if you want to accept, if you use your own mental energy thought field, because thought is energy, emotion, therefore it creates reality. If you share your thought processes to the spectrum and where we're going to be doing the energy work, then you put your energy with mine behind that intent, so it's a stronger activation. And so the third eye obviously is here. It's in the midbrain of the entire brain, which is in the center, in the back, in the middle. And the nerve to that brain, to the midbrain, to the pineal gland, is connected to the back of the eyeballs. So there's like this really cool thing that goes on with vision in the pineal gland. So I am going to begin now. And you can tap along with me. Tapping is a very ancient activation tool. Joy, I see you, sister. Okay, if you want to do something to accelerate your activation while I'm doing the activation, one thing that you can do is you can close your eyes, and then with your eye energy and your brain energy, you can look up, like literally look up in this section of your forehead and push your brain energy there. Really push your eyes to look really hard in this area, and it will start swirling. If it doesn't start swirling for you, it just needs, the brain is like a muscle. It must be conditioned, right? You have to condition it. And so while I'm doing the activation, if you want to close your eyes and really push it right here, I've got a lot of people to do this, and whenever I do it, I instantly, my third eye starts swirling, so it's a cool little technique. I lost signal a minute ago, so I decided to stop the activation, so we'll get started again. Third eye chakra activation. If you're just tuning in, we're doing a third eye chakra activation. Third eye tapping, or tapping in specific chakras or area points in the body, activates those areas. So I channel that a lot. You can do that to yourself as well. Okay, so now we're moving on to the heart chakra. Sometimes I set an intent just to do a specific chakra, and I allow the channel to flow through as it wants. Okay, so now we're doing a little. So when I make the movement, when I throw my hands behind my back and I move like this, that means we're changing timelines, collapsing the gap. And sometimes I'll throw different mudras when I do that. So solar plexus, I initiate a lot of solar plexus activation on myself and other people, even whenever I'm channeling another chakra or just doing full Kundalini. The solar plexus is a really sensitive area. That's where we carry the energy of others. And I've been going through some healing of my own the last few days, really getting more within myself and the things that no longer serve me and what I'm calling in for myself. So I've been really feeling it in the solar plexus the last few days, and so I'm thankful for the activation in this moment. Throat chakra. Okay, I think we are done there. I just recently got the signal that when this comes up, that means it's balanced. I believe that this means masculine and this means feminine. I'm just not totally sure about all the channeling yet. Thank you for tuning in. I do individual work with people. If any of you want to do any chakra work, we can trade donations or, any kind of services or anything like that that you may have. I really enjoy working with people independently. We've had a lot of success in activations and people really feeling their Kundalini activate. So now we're going to do a crown. Yeah, joy, filling the crown chakra. Energy alignment. When I do energy work with someone else in person, I do the energy work over them. not myself. I can channel it through myself by doing it to me, to you, but it's just a different spectrum when it's physical and a lot more strong and powerful. And so I have a lot of people ask me about activating chakras. And there's all different kinds of ways to do that. People can activate our chakras with us. We can do all sorts of things. And, you know, this all started with me. I didn't seek it. And so, you know, this has just been a general progression that I've activated into, that I have been awoken into my abilities, just like a lot of you are. And the way that I began activating myself, even though I didn't really realize that that's what I was doing, is that I started taking care of my mind and the way I talk to myself. The way I talk to myself, I realize now, sets a vibration of manifestation. The way I think about myself sets a frequency of manifestation. And think about this. Telepathy is so strong that the way I talk to myself, other people can pick up on that. So then, like, I could even like imprint thought processes into other people's brains by not even realizing it. And so manifesting starts with our thought processes and the way we think about ourselves. If you want to be happier and create the life you want, start thinking better about yourself and others. That means no judging. And the other thing that helps me too is eating better. My body feels so much better now that I've taken a lot of the gluten out. Dairy, cheese, cow cheese just really messes up my sinus cavities. And I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of the sinuses, but they look just like the lungs and the chest. So the sinuses are actually like the lungs to the brain. And so I see that, like, the brethren, you know, the breath is really important. And so clogging it with smoking all the time, I'm even cutting back on smoking ganja because I just want to clear out even more, you know. I mean, it's all connected. 95% of the serotonin in the body is produced in the digestive system, not the gut, not the brain. And so if our gut produces 95% of the serotonin, which is the happy neurotransmitter in our body, then if we just take a look at what we're eating and what we're feeding ourselves, that can change everything. Everything. So, you know, a lot of people, I feel like, you know, in my life too, we want this magic pill or this magic wand that can just poof do it. And no. We have to put the work into what we desire in this life. Energy prediction. And so thought processes and what we eat are both play huge roles on the serotonin in our body. Like, we have to step outside of like the human psyche aspect of this experience and just take a look at the physical, because if we want to create longevity and have a happy life here, I feel as though it's really important to take care of the vessel. It's on temporary use for the host that is within it, which is me and many others. You know, it's not just one entity here. And so it's important to recognize that when we feed ourselves with good food, when we feed ourselves with good thoughts, with good love, with good water, those are the things that are the perfect potion to activate and align. Because the chakras aren't in the body. The chakras are the energy field around the body that are associated with different spectrums of the vessel. The more in tune our body and our organs are, the more energy we have, obviously. Not just physical energy, but our aura, our actual energy in which we are within the all. Because we're all just one frequency in a spectrum of vibration, but we definitely have different patterns that we vibrate to. So in this life, if you feel like you're not happy and you just don't know what to do or where you're going, a good thing is to just think about thinking better and eating better. Just start with that, and then everything else becomes to unfold. I love you to the moon, family. Thank you for tuning in with me today. And remember, after any energy work, not only does the third eye, the physical body, get activated, but so does the psyche. So any kind of energy work we have, any intent we put on it, is going to push things to the top to take a look at. So it's important to remember that energy work is awesome on a molecular level, but it's also important on a physical, on a psyche level as well. Love you to the moon.